I will master you. I really will. This is John Young with It Is Jockey News. Today's Tuesday tip is about setting a limit on your time and becoming a master of your time. So I've got 5 tips today to help you kind of set some limits on your time, especially as we get into the summer season where we get really busy on the weekends. You're going to set some limits on your time and become a master of your time. The first part of it is to prioritize the components of your life. There's different things. You've got your family, you've got your business, you've got your different things you do within each of these. You need to prioritize. It was, family, my church things that I do, then the business things that I do. I need to prioritize these things in my world, because if I don't have these in my head as far as what's number 1, what's number 2, what's number 3, it's too easy for a number 4 and number 5 to circumvent, and there are going to be times they will. But most of the time, number 1 should be your top priority. You want to make sure that you're giving that your focus that you need to really show that it's the top priority. First tip is to prioritize the different aspects of your life so you know which are number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. 2, 3, and 4 kind of all fall in together, and they kind of are a mishmash back and forth a little bit, but we're going to go through them and we're going to separate them out as 2, 3, and 4. Number 2 is you're going to plan your day at the beginning of the day. I know some people talk about planning the night before, and I have tried that, and I've talked to some people who have tried to plan your night out the night before, where you go through and make all the lists of the things you need to do the next day. I find that when I do that, I spend my overnight time, I'm spending way too much time. I'm not sleeping well because I'm too busy thinking about all these things on my list and which one am I going to knock off first. I find it, for me, it works much better to get up in the morning and just kind of go through and, as I clear off my emails, and then it's like, okay, here are the things I need to do today. And there's times where it'll be, okay, here are the things today, here are the things tomorrow, here are the things the next day. Because I don't like to be doing this kind of stuff before, calling it a day. Maybe if you do it at the end of the day, let's say your end of the day is at 5 o'clock and you're going to do it then, that's cool. But morning seems to work the best for me, because then I can see what's ahead of me. If I have something that's going to be that day, that's all right there and it's fresh in my mind. That way I can start to focus and think about these things. So plan your day, but just don't plan your day at the end of your day. Tip number 3 is to set a schedule and try to stick to it as closely as possible. Now, when you're scheduling, you're going to be scheduling your business activities and what you're going to be doing. And then you'll be able to basically have a beginning time and an end time. Hopefully for all the little tasks, you'll be getting an end times, with doing some things here, doing some things there. The part that I want you guys to kind of focus on is Kevin Wilson's was the founder of the Holiday Inn, and he made the comment, or the quote, that you can find it online, that he recommends to people only work half a day. It makes no difference if that half a day is your first 12 hours a day or your second 12 hours a day. That was a quote from Kevin's, and I chuckle at that, but I've lived that 12-hour half a day thing for a long time, with 5, 6, 7 days a week, depending upon what's going on. My goal this summer is to schedule my 3-hour. I want to do not a half a day. I want to do like an eighth of a day. I want to do a 3-hour block where I'm going to schedule my things for the day in that, and then after that, then it's time to spend some time with the children and such, because they're home for the summer. I'm going to set that schedule, and I'm going to ask you guys to kind of help keep me to that. When you send me a message and say, "Hey John, what is today?" I'm hopefully going to tell you it's an eighth of a day, but setting that schedule, getting it, and then sticking to it as closely as possible. Yes, there's going to be times where I'm going to have to run an errand or take a call or shoot a video in the afternoon, but I really want to focus on making my schedule and sticking to it. One thing that I'm going to need to do is number 4, which is schedule social media time. I'm going to have to basically put blocks of that in. And you're probably going to see that my eighth of a day is going to be probably 2 hours in the morning and probably another hour later in the day, because social media things and website things need to have attention at different times of the day. But for most people who aren't as heavily into the social media world as we are, setting it and giving yourself a half an hour a day for social media time, 15 minutes a day, what have you, schedule that social media time, and maybe even think about scheduling some email time, because both of those can just eat your time up so incredibly quick. Now, number 5 is kind of a combination of overviewing 2, 3, and 4. And what 5 is going to be is to go and figure out what the most profitable things you can do with your time are, where you're going to be getting the best return for your time, and really focus over half of your time on that. Some people talk about that 80-20 principle, where you spend 20% of your activities will bring in 80% of your income. So spend more time on those 20% of the activities. Let's just make it a little easier. Figure out which are the most profitable, most productive things you can do, and then make those your half of your time focus for surely, because those are the things that are going to give you the best return on your effort, and hopefully financially give you the best return. So focus half of your time or a little bit more on the things that are giving you the best return. Well, that's five little tips on becoming kind of a master of your time, hopefully taking control of it and prioritizing your summer. This is going to be a big time for a lot of you, that you're going to be doing weddings on the weekends. You're going to lose your Saturdays, maybe your Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays to the business. So going and having your time scheduled, figuring things out, prioritizing, what you're going to be doing with the rest of the days of the week is going to be very critical for your sanity and for your family's relationship. So take the time, do these things, and I think that'll help you an awful lot. If this is your first time watching one of the Tuesday tips, thank you for watching. You can go and click the subscribe here. We'll put it there, but you can go down and you can click the link to the playlist and check out all of our Tuesday tips, because we have them in a playlist for you, and you can go through and see by title which ones might be of interest. Check that out. We really appreciate you watching this today. And if you have some ideas on ways that you can go and kind of prioritize your life, or ways that you can go and kind of set that schedule for the day, things that work for you, please share those down in the comments down below, way down there. The comment section is our spot where we can share and learn from each other. And some of you have put some fabulous comments out in some of our videos. Wow, I've picked up some things, and I've got some future show content from those comments you guys have put on those videos. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share down below. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV with our Tuesday tips of the week.
If I were you, I'd hit the subscribe button before I hit the video. But don't mess things up. Wanna know why? Because I'm Batman.